So at first it was just rumors. I've heard from a few different people that they had been released. Wasn't sure if it was true because, of course, I hadn't been notified. And normally they notify the victims or the victims' families once, the defendant is being released. As far as the 11-year-old, I did receive a letter in the mail just Saturday stating that he had been released from DJJ. My letter is actually dated on the 22nd of February, but they also sent a letter addressed to my son, who obviously can't read the letter, stating that he was released on the 24th. But either way, he's been released. So
why send a letter to Noah?
It made absolutely no sense to me. I get that he's the victim in this crime, but I mean, he's deceased. It makes no sense.
And so hearing that and seeing that letter, just tell me your immediate reaction.
I kind of plummeted. Went through a quick downward spiral because it was totally unexpected. I was told that they would be gone for at least 2 years. It's been less than a year. My son hasn't been buried an entire year, and his killer is already out just walking the streets, living a normal life as if nothing ever happened.
And how does that make you feel about the justice system here in Wayne County specifically?
I still feel like the justice system failed, not only my child, but my family as well. And also other families in this community. I mean, because this is something that could potentially happen again. Is this what other parents are going to have to go through as well? To have their child taken so savagely for no reason, and then they have to face the juvenile justice system and the kids get a slap on the wrist.
Just the thought of them potentially hurting somebody else. What are your thoughts on that?
It's highly likely. When a child is a bully, the type of, child that this boy is, I've seen certain stuff that he's posted on social media against other kids, making threats to other kids. So he's a outright bully. It puts fear in me for other people's children. He's very unpredictable. And just as I stated before, I saw this boy in court, and the way he turned around and looked at me is just pure evil in his face. He's a sociopath, and he will reoffend again.
Do you think this is something that was taught in the home?
I do. I believe that it is learned behavior. Kids they're not born to hate. I have kids of my own. They're not born to hate. This is learned behavior. This is parents that are teaching this to their children. Why on earth would you want to teach that to your kids is beyond me. Everybody should love one another, get along with one another. You shouldn't be teasing or picking or bullying other kids just because they're a little different from you.
Did the DJJ say why in that letter?
No, it does not state why he was released, not whether it was for good behavior or anything. Just letting me know because our family, Noah was a victim, and I guess our family was the victim in this crime, that he was just being released.
And what kind of message do you think that sends from the DJJ?
To me, that message is loud and clear to other kids of that age that actually bully. You can do this crime and you can basically get away with it. I wouldn't even say a slap on the wrist. This is more like popping a toddler on the hand. Hey, don't do that. Versus actual justice. This wasn't justice in any type of way. It was hard enough to already only be given 2 years, but I at least thought that they would at least sit out that time to really be maybe rehabilitated or learn from what they did, but no.
Do you know which DJJ facility they were at, the one in Savannah or Brunswick? Or
I am not really sure.
Okay.
It is on the letter. I would have to go and get the letter.
Okay, that's fine. I guess just for them going back to school even on that side of things, what kind of concerns does that bring up? Being back in the Wayne County school system.
I am in fear for other people's children if they are released back into the school system. I know there are a lot of other parents that are outraged and they're worried because you have to think about it. This is a murderer that's going to be sitting in the desk next to your child or on the bus with your child. I mean, there's a sense of fear there for those kids because of the extent of what happened to my son.
And I'm sure after that letter you tried to make some calls, and were you able to find out anything just through making calls of why they were released at all?
No. And I was told that you're supposed to be notified in advance before the release happens, but that didn't occur.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about specifically in regards to this?
Just that Wayne County and the state of Georgia truly failed my family. This is not justice. I feel like more time should have been given to these juveniles, and I do believe that at least one of the two will most definitely reoffend. And as my friend stated before, the blood is on their hands. Yeah, I'm certain that they didn't serve any real repercussions. Like it's the Department of Juvenile Justice, so it's nothing like real jail. You know what I'm saying? Where criminals actually go in and they're stuck in a cage, or all these privileges are taken away from them. I think they were still treated the same way they would have been treated on the streets. They got their meals every day. They probably made friends while they were inside these group homes or whatnot. So.
Why do you think Noah's case was handled this way? Do you think it was handled differently than other cases would have been?
I feel like Noah's case was handled different because, for one, this town has never seen a crime like this occur. I mean, I've never heard of anything like this happening around here. And then on the top of it, even though I don't like to bring race into it, I feel like his race played a big pivotal point in the way his case was handled.
And now that you've moved locations, you moved out of Wayne County, is there still concern for your other children or anything along those lines?
There is. At this time, I refuse to put my toddler into any daycares. I won't put her in Head Start, and then I'm in fear of her actually starting school because I don't want her to get bullied. I don't want her to be mistreated. I want to be hands-on with my child. So it's a very tough situation that I have to think about before I actually put her into the school system, because kids are getting bullied every day at school.
Especially, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Honestly, I've said it 100 times and I'll say it again. Until my last breath, I will always fight for justice for Noah. I will always fight for justice for other juveniles that are going through horrific crimes and they're getting pushed under the rug or overlooked or getting minimal sentences. These kids deserve justice. They deserve a community that's going to stand up and be there for them and help them get through the process. And I just feel like Noah's life just didn't matter to people the way it should have.